If you've ever stood in front of your fridge wondering, what the heck am I allowed to eat on carnivore? Same, darling, same. And pretty much on a daily basis. So today we're doing a real life what I eat on the carnivore diet while intermittent fasting. And this is the non-bougie version. If you are looking for grass-fed $75 steaks and a perfectly clean kitchen, you might want to go ahead and click on out now, because that ain't what we're doing here. But if you're just trying to figure this out like I am without losing your ever-loving mind and spending your entire life savings, you're in the right place. Get comfy, pull you up a chair. You're my kind of people. I started making these videos because I was getting tired of watching other people share their perfect lives while being filmed by a full camera crew as they cook meals I couldn't afford in houses I would probably get lost in. I couldn't relate. And honestly, it made me feel like I just wasn't measuring up. So this is the real version, warts and all. I'm dabbling in carnivore because my body is a big old drama queen. I've got autoimmune stuff going on, type 1 diabetes, and I'm just trying to find a way to calm all of that down. I'm not doing carnivore because I'm a purist and I only want clean ingredients in my body. I wish I was. The problem with all of this is I'm struggling. I'm having a really hard time sticking to strict carnivore. There's a lot going on in my life. I mean, not only is there temptations around every single corner, but I've just been under a lot of stress and emotionally had some stuff going on I'm trying to deal with. So I am on the verge, like my tippy toes are on the edge of just jumping off and running straight back to dirty keto, or at least doing dirty keto until I get my head back on straight. So today we're keeping things simple, skipping breakfast, doing lunch, snack, dinner, all while trying to contain my eating window between noon and 7. And during the snacking chat later, I'm gonna fill you guys in on a doctor's appointment I had last week, because that was an entire situation. I'm starting my morning off with filtered water, and inside is a packet of lemon lime flavored creatine. I try to take between 5 and 10 grams of creatine a day, which I did clear with my doctor beforehand. I'm not pretending like this is medical advice or I even know what I'm doing. I'm winging it here, people. But I'm not taking creatine to bulk up or anything. I'm taking creatine because all of the new research that's coming out suggests that it helps improve mood, memory, recall, all of the things that I currently have issues with and have had issues with since 2021. If you know, you know. Not sponsored, but Create did give me a discount. I'll have that link in the description box if you want more information. I've also got some vitamins and supplements that are part of a post-vaccination syndrome protocol my doctor put me on last February. Wow, it's been a year already. Time flies, people, time flies. I plan on talking about that at some point. It's got to do with vaccine injury and all that, so you know how it is. Okay, I'm gonna go finish getting ready, but I will see you guys in just a second. For For lunch, I'm going to fix a couple of the Great Value 100% pure beef burger patties. These are in the frozen section and they're $14.97 at Walmart. Once you do the math, that breaks down to $1.25 a burger. Only ingredient in these is beef, so there's no fillers or anything else added. One is 240 calories, 17 grams of fat, 0 carbs, and 21 grams of protein. Two gives me 34 grams of fat and 42 grams of protein. The back of the packaging gives you 4 or 5 different cooking options, but not air fryer instructions. However, one of you told me the best way to prepare these, and I've been doing it ever since. Thanks, Cindy. I really appreciate it. You just take the frozen patties out of the freezer and then you coat both sides with a pat of butter and then you sprinkle your favorite seasonings on those. Now, the butter helps the seasoning cling to those frozen burgers instead of it just bouncing off and going everywhere. My favorite seasoning for burgers, Trader Joe's 21 Seasoning Salute. It has clean ingredients and 0 carbs. Once that's done, you throw them in the air fryer at 350 degrees for about 13 to 14 minutes, and I like to flip them at the halfway point. They come out perfect every single time, and I think the butter is the magic. It gives them these nice crispy edges without drying them out. I considered topping them with cheese, and then I spotted the bacon in the fridge and decided to grab 4 slices of that instead. And to drink, well, that's going to be the same old filtered water. Really easy meal. High protein, high fat, and super filling. Snack of the day is salami and cheese. Now, I showed these in a recent Carnivore grocery haul for 2 under 75 bucks. If you missed that, I'll have it linked in the cards for you and in the description. I snatched this up for $2.99. There's 8 salami and mozzarella cheese roll-ups inside. I'm having half and Chris is eating the other 4. Fast, easy, and cheap, just the way I like it. Once you break it all down, my snack cost me $1.50 and has 213 calories, 15 grams of fat, 19 grams of protein, and 1.25 carbs. I have my fat-soluble vitamins and supplements from the post-vax injury protocol, and I put some filtered water in my Stanley. I poured in a pack of Radical Grape Salty Electrolytes. We've tried so many, and this brand is our favorite because it's not gross. I have a discount code you can use, or go try the sampler. It's $6.50, and if you use the link in the description box, it's only about $5.85. I wanted to start the chat by saying thank you, because in my last What I Ate in a Day video, I went into detail about the reason I had disappeared for several months, and you all flooded the comments with love and support and prayers, and I just wanted you to know how much I appreciated it. Okay, let's move on to new business and the doctor's appointment I had last week. It was just a routine visit. We like to touch base about every 6 months or so to see if anything needs to be changed up, if I want to add in any new medicine, how I'm responding to treatment, and what we want to focus on. Full disclosure, I pay out of pocket because the place I go to is considered a functional medicine practice, and insurance being what it is, difficult, they refuse to pay for it. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I tried traditional medicine for over 2 years, and at that time I was almost bedridden and got 0 answers and no help. The office I go to now took a completely different approach by treating my symptoms instead of making me wait on that medical diagnosis. And when it comes to autoimmune diseases, that can sometimes take up to 10 years. By the time I found this place, I had very little hope left that I would ever feel better. So if you are struggling with health issues, take this as your loving reminder to never give up. Help is out there. It might take a while to find it, like it did me, but it is out there. During this visit, my blood pressure and heart rate were great, and my A1C was 5.7. Now, A1C is what measures your blood sugar levels over the past 3 months. And for a type 1 diabetic, my age and newly diagnosed, they're happy if that number is around 7. 5.7 is almost a normal blood sugar level for a non-diabetic. Now, I think there are several factors that help me achieve such an awesome number, and this is just what's worked for me. I'm not saying anybody else should try it, but combining low carb and intermittent fasting has been a combo that helps me control the blood sugar highs and lows. And the real MVP here is the Omnipod insulin pump, which I was so hesitant to start. It monitors my blood sugar, takes care of the hard math, and doses my insulin, plus it injects it. It's doing the job my pancreas used to, so now I don't have to stress about keeping myself alive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My biggest problem now is the vaccine injury, the inflammation that came along with it, and the autoimmune disease. So that's what we're trying to improve, and basically the reason I was trying carnivore anyways. Because since my very first visit, he's wanted me to try an elimination diet, but the mere thought of that was so overwhelming. Tracking foods, journaling, testing things out, reintroducing them, I'm just not there. Carnivore seemed like a decent option, but I'm obviously having trouble sticking to that. So now we're moving in another direction, and he's suggested something called the Dunwoody lab test. It's just a simple blood test that'll tell me what I'm sensitive to, so I'll know exactly what I need to avoid. We're also trying to figure out a way to knock out some of this inflammation, whether it's joint inflammation or neuroinflammation. And we're talking about BPC 157 orally and a low dose GLP-1. I'm always hesitant about adding anything new because I just don't know how my body's going to react. I have the MTHFR gene variant, so my body usually does the exact opposite of what it's supposed to when it comes to vitamins, supplements, and even medications. I'm still researching all of this, so if any of you out there have any experience with either of them, please help me out here and let me know in the comments, no matter if it's good or bad. As for my current meds, no adjustments were needed. We're keeping everything the same. So to recap, I am on doxycycline, and that is for autoimmune issues, and it helps suppress those flare-ups. Plus, I'm taking low-dose naltrexone for chronic inflammation. And then there is that extensive post-vaccination syndrome protocol that I'm on, and I'm going to continue it. The problem was I basically stopped adding in anything new with everything that was going on, and I need to get back into that, researching what's left and then slowly adding those things in over time and just see if any of them help. Overall, wonderful appointment, and it gives me hope. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be back to 100% my old self, but I might get pretty darn close. On a side note, we have made quite a few lifestyle changes or environmental tweaks since last summer when I was here on a regular basis, and I was going to talk about those today because I firmly believe they have improved my quality of life dramatically. But then I realized that this chat would end up being 45 minutes long. So I'm going to save those for the next time we sit down and do this. Because right now, I need to go ahead and wrap up the chat and head into the kitchen, dig around in the cabinets, and figure out what the heck we're going to do for dinner, because I have no idea. Hang tight, don't move, I'll see you when we eat. So tonight we're having one of our favorite easy meals, chicken nuggets. Technically, only 3 ingredients are required, so I'm using the 12.5 ounce cans of Members Mark Premium Natural Chunk Chicken Breast. These are in water and from Sam's Club. You get 6 cans for $12.56, making them $2.09 a can. They're minimally processed, and the ingredients are chicken, water, and salt. And since nothing is added in, the carb count's 0. 1 can will make about 13 or 14 nuggets, but I'm going to fix 2 different batches because I need enough to feed me and Chris. Now, there's a couple things you got to do so that these turn out perfect. First pro tip is drain out all of the liquid. Dump your chicken in a bowl, and I like to take a fork and just make sure it's all shredded apart instead of clumpy. Then add in 1.5 cups of your favorite shredded cheese plus 1 beaten egg. That's your 3 basic ingredients. This next step is optional, but if you want, you can sprinkle in some seasonings. In one batch, I'm going to use the Flavor God Ranch, and in the other batch, I'm going to add in some of the Everything Spicy. Both of them have clean ingredients and 0 carbs. Check the description box for a discount link if you want to pick up anything from Flavor God. Now, for pro tip number 2, and for this one, you're going to have to get your hands dirty, so if you want, glove up. But you're going to need to mix this thoroughly, and a fork or spoon just won't do. You're looking for this consistency. Then all you got to do is shape them into nugget form, place them on an air fryer liner, then into the air fryer. Set it at 350 degrees for 7 minutes, flip those, and cook them for an additional 7 to 8 minutes or until they're crispy. These are so good. Everybody in the house gobbles them up. If you've never made these before, you, my friend, are missing out. Once both batches were done, I threw them on a plate, and Chris and I scarfed them down. And that officially wraps up our full day of carnivore meals. I will have everything I mentioned linked for you down in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you as a part of my YouTube family. Go ahead and click that button. Okay, I'm gonna run, but thanks for spending the day with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.